Alright, and we are now live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the very first part of my soon-to-be very long-running video series, which will be a live stream series, obviously, because this is live right now, of Demon's Souls. And for those of you who saw the little test live stream that I did, was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was. This is going to be a little bit better, I hope. I've addressed any issues that were arising there, and there's another issue that didn't arise in that video, but might arise in this one. It's a really bad one, it's worse than all of them. It's where the video actually fucking cuts out, and you can't see anything on there, and I have to end up reinitiating the recording process in OBS, not so much, restarting the stream, but actually deactivating the video feed and then reactivating it. It's not going to be too bad, it could be worse, it's not like me having to restart the stream or anything, but it's going to really ruin things if something important's going on the screen. So I'm really hoping that my capture card, which is an Elgato Game Capture HD, it's the original one, I got it because it has the component adapters and all of that. I don't believe the new one does that. It doesn't really have a reason to, because of course people in this day and age wouldn't be playing a PS3, would they? Except for me, so that's why I got the original one. And that's the one that I wanted back when it was new, I guess, but for various reasons that I won't go into because this isn't the point of this recording that I'm doing, I ended up getting a capture card that recorded to an external rather than directly to my PC. Long story short, it was because my PC was shit and I didn't want to rely on the performance of the PC at that time. Now, because I have a good PC, I can rely on that performance as much as I want. I know that it sounds quite loud right now, this whole cutscene here, but it's the loudest part of the game. So if you're worried about audio levels again, oh, Doomlink, the audio levels are too close, lower the game a bit. No, don't worry, it's just exceptionally loud here. I have organised the audio of the game so that it's in keeping with regular gameplay, not just the extremely loud cutscene here. Imagine if I had to, maybe if I had some faders to move along while I'm playing, it would make things even better. But anyway, it's really hot today, I will mention, and I have the fan going over there. It's not making any noise, fortunately, because the thing's half broken, but it's getting a little bit of air on me, so it's good. I'm actually going to go start here so that it doesn't play the cutscene anymore. Just to continue along with the introduction here, and as some of you might be able to work out so far, this is not going to be a normal live stream. I don't have any intention of doing a normal live stream. What I mean by that is, a lot of people who do live streams just sort of sit there. I'm not about that. That's not how I record videos. So you're going to have me here talking to you non-stop for the entirety of this live stream. I do intend to interact with anyone who does want to talk to me, that's fine, but I'm very much of the opinion that if you're going to watch this in the future sometime, which is what I want, because this, of course, it's very important for people to go ahead and watch this while it is live, because I do want to actually interact with people, but if you're going to watch this in the future, you need it to be a little bit more engaging than that, because, of course, that's the whole idea of not wanting to watch a past live stream. It's because, oh, well, if it's not live, I can't interact with the person, so it's boring. But if I'm talking to you like this, it's sort of like a normal, I guess, post-edited recording in that way, except that it's not post-edited in any way. I wanted to do a small introduction here. This so far has not been a very small introduction, but I wanted to also tell you a story about my experience with Demon's Souls. But I'm going to try and do that while I'm playing. Now, I'm going to say also that this character here, which you're about to see, Elephant, is not going to be used. And if you did watch the test stream, in which I said that we were going to do a strength build because I named the character Elephant, I did say that I wasn't sure whether I was going to go ahead with that or not, and I made the decision not to, obviously. There are a number of reasons as to why that is the case. First and foremost, I don't really enjoy strength builds. I prefer to be more mobile when it comes to my Souls play. Not just Demon's Souls, but pretty much any Souls games, or pretty much any Souls game. I do prefer to be more mobile. So when it comes to Demon's Souls for me now, it's all about the enjoyment. So I'm going to hold off on any strength builds for now. So what I'm actually going to do instead, as the title of the video should suggest, I do indeed have the correct title going here. I mean, that's why I have my laptop here. This is in case anyone wants to chat to me, and also so that I can monitor what's going on with the video. So let me just see what we've got here. Do excuse me for a brief moment while I go ahead and open that up, because if I have the video open, then I can interact with anyone who is watching. Sam is watching. Hello. Sing with song. I don't know what that means. Speak English. But anyway, so what we're going to do, of course, is an intelligence build here. That is the plan, and I don't really have a name in mind. What should I name this character? This is one thing that I'm worried about. Like, the moment comes where I need to make the character, and I don't want to be sitting in the character creation screen forever, because once again, there is a factor of entertainment that exists here. If I'm sitting here trying to think of a name for 10 minutes, you people might not be interested anymore. I mean, I don't want that, do I? Let me think. If I name the character something Japanese, will you people go, oh, he's such a weeb? I mean, because what I was thinking of was to maybe do a reference to some anime. I don't know, like, for instance, Majimoji Ururumo, like, you know how that character was like a witch sort of thing? But Ururumo sounds a little bit, I don't know, weeby, doesn't it? It's more than a bit. But it seems that everything's going alright with the stream at the moment, I would like to think. I don't know if it's just on my end, but it seems as if my video profile here is a bit shit quality. I wish that I could change that. I don't know if it's just on my end because my internet at home is shit or what. Hopefully it's not the case for you, but anyway, I'm not going to try and troubleshoot everything right now. But either way, the situation with naming a character is, I don't know what name I want to choose. I'm going to have to decide right now. Let's name the character. Let's do something really boring and name it after a character in this game, which is Yuria. Yuria the Witch. And yeah, the reason why also I decided to do a magic build, not just because of the sake of enjoyment, but also because these servers are up. I want to try and actually get the Monk's Head Collar, which is a very good item for magic builds, but also a rather difficult item to get when you consider that it requires an invasion into World 3-4, which is of course the Archdemon area. And if you can't do that when the servers are down, obviously you can't get the head collar anymore, because the idea is you get summoned by the old monk, Archdemon, and you actually get to fight the person who is intending on fighting the boss, except you're the boss. So when you actually kill an invading person, well no, sorry, when you're the invading person and you kill whoever is trying to kill the Archdemon, when you are the Archdemon, you are rewarded with the Monk's Head Collar, which is pretty cool in my opinion. And it's also a very good item. It makes you more susceptible to magic, but you deal a lot more magic damage, so I'd say it's a pretty good little thing there. So I'm going to try and find the... It does look a little bit dark, doesn't it? I'm not really happy with the brightness here, so I'm actually going to edit that a little bit if you don't mind. I don't know if while streaming doing this shit is a problem, but I'm going to raise the brightness a little bit. There we go. I hope I haven't just caused a huge problem by doing that. I don't believe that I have. This should be a fair demonstration to you that I'm really not used to live streaming, so I don't even know if doing something like raising the brightness is going to fuck anything up. I really don't know. But anyway, I'm looking for the magician. That's the magician, isn't it? I'm trying to see. That is the magician, isn't it? Pretty sure. So, yes, that's... yeah. Intelligence is at 15, dexterity 11. Strength, all that, yeah. Okay. So I just need to remember the stats here. Kind of sucks when you can't read it. But if I can remember, it goes... Vitality, endurance, is that right? No. There's an extra one in there. Attunement? No, it's not attunement in this game. You don't have attunement. It's actually dependent on... Anyway, long story. So I think this is the magician. How great. It's going to be great when I need to level up, isn't it? Because the thing is with Demon Souls is that when you level up, it's not like Dark Souls and all the other Souls games where you can sort of allocate points to see how it's going to be, and then you press OK to actually go ahead with that allocation. In Demon Souls, you allocate the points individually, and each time you are purchasing that with souls. You can't go back, there is no soul point reallocation, none of that shit. You are allocating the point at that moment individually, and there's no going back. So if I do something wrong, there's going to be a problem. So let's try and avoid doing that. I'd love some feedback, guys. If the video, like for instance, if my face here looks like shit because it's like pixelated, let me know, because that's how it looks in my current playback. So just let me know. Of course it looks fine in OBS, I mean there's no problem with OBS, but of course the internet is a big deal, and that really does make a difference to the quality. So yeah, I think we'll just go with the Magician, and I believe this is the Magician once again. So we'll try and change this woman's appearance a little bit. Oh, that's good, yeah. As I mentioned in the previous test recording, you can make probably the most disgusting characters in the entire Soul series in this particular game. So I'm going to do my best not to make the most disgusting character ever. Probably a more petite face rather than some big, fat, ugly thing. That would be my preference, yes. Regardless, I do have a good look at the chat here. It's difficult for me, unless I'm on YouTube Gaming, I can't really see the chat and the video at the same time, so maybe I should watch in YouTube Gaming if that's possible. I don't know if it's possible. Doesn't really matter anyway. That's what I've decided. Anyway, I do hope that everything is going fine with the recording here. It's very difficult for everything to be perfect, if you know. But this is reasonably the first recording that I'm doing for the series, so maybe things still won't be perfect. I'd like them to be, but you know, this is a live streaming scenario, which is a little bit volatile when you think about it. Because if anything goes wrong, it's going wrong. There's no fixing it until you do it there at the moment, so it's a bit of a nightmare. But look, this face is not phenomenal. I've seen better faces, but as far as as far as Demon Souls goes, whew, it's pretty good. And yes, of course, across the entire Soul series, there has been a big concern that it's very difficult to make female faces. All the female faces look male, as people say. I can more or less agree with that, especially here. Looks a bit like a guy, but I'd like to change the nose. I mean, you can see all these options here. This is one downside to playing the Japanese version. I don't know what any of this shit is. So, anyway. I'd love to make the nose a little bit smaller. Don't know if that's possible, but regardless. Still, the single comment that I have here is sing with song, which is probably the most interesting first comment that I could have possibly had on a live stream, but anyway, sing with song. It's like I'm on the Hunsterverse or something, and no, I didn't say that incorrectly. I didn't change the hair color, probably because I wouldn't be able to if I tried, but anyway. It's currently connecting, which is cool. So what I want to do is... hold on. I've actually got a bottle of rather uncommon whiskey. It's called Manx Spirit. It's a white whiskey. It's funny because there was a lot of dispute as to whether or not it's even whiskey, but... and I think that was settled in 1997, when it was decided, nope, it's not whiskey. Sorry. So, whatever. Actually, you can't really see that. Show you here. Anyway, it's very nice. It tastes like whiskey. It's not like, it's nothing like white rum. It tastes like whiskey, long story short. But anyway, let's put that to the side. And, oh, I've got the cutscene playing, I didn't even notice. Well, there you go, something to entertain you, I guess. I fucking love this one. I've been letting it age in the bottle too. So, as far as what I plan for the little story that I'm going to tell you, I actually have the physical copies of the game that I own, which does have something to do with the story that I'm telling you. This here is the Japanese version of the game. If I can show you that there. It's
to fears,
Yeah,
not death.
just the Japanese version of the game, nothing too special. This is the original cover.
I shall guide
The one that you guys are more familiar with is this cover. That's what you're used to, I would say. But this is the original. It sort of has the warrior that you play as, who is always demonstrated with the fluted knight set, sort of laying either dead or whatever. I don't know what he is really. I suppose he's either dead or very sad or one of those things. Either way, he's not having a good time. And yeah, that's the original cover of the game, which is probably a little bit more grim compared to the cover that was released first on the Atlas version of the game, which was in October of 2009 in the US. Now, let's start with the story, shall we? The funny thing is, I wanted to play while telling this story, but it might be a bit hard, but I'll try. Fucking beautiful. Anyway, so basically, Freedom Unite, or just the Monster Hunter series in general, and this game, or the Soul series. The thing is, I don't really want to refer to it as the Soul series in the context of the year 2009, because it wasn't actually a series yet. This is one thing that's important to mention. You did have the Kingsfield series from Software. It was called Kingsfield, wasn't it? And I'm pretty sure that's correct. It's just I don't really trust my memory sometimes. But From Software, long story short, was not kind of... Going into RPGs was not new territory for From Software, basically. Demon Souls was in 2009, new modern RPG that From Software was working on. And I will mention that if it weren't for my interest in the Monster Hunter series, I would not have actually come to know about Demon Souls. I'm just going to raise this here, if you can forgive me for that. But it was through my interest in Monster Hunter, which started in 2008, that in early 2009 sometime, I came to the realization that a game called Demon Souls existed. And at this time, which I would assume to be, and I don't remember the exact dates here, I would assume to be between February 2009 and, we'll say June. I would say somewhere in between that. So I think the game first came out in Japan in February, and at that point, I don't know if immediately following that, the Asian versions came out, or what, I just don't know. As far as the Asian versions, I think there's a Chinese and a Korean version, but I don't think there are any more. There are only, if you include the Japanese version, there are 3 Asian versions in total. To my knowledge, each with their own servers. But I could be wrong. Maybe all of the Asian games share a server. But one thing that I can tell you is that I was aware of the game's existence before the US version came out, because the only version that existed, I believe, was what I believed to be a Chinese version that I did not know at that moment in time was translated in English. Now, I got a PS3 around the time the Slim came out, so I had one of the first Slims. Around that time as well, a bit before then, I had a PSP. Not that much before then. And I was playing Freedom Unite on the PSP, of course. I got Freedom Unite not long after it came out. So, maybe a month or 2 after it came out, something like that. Once again, dates do, I guess, miss me a little bit because it's been a while. But, Freedom Unite was a game that I was already playing by the time I got a PS3. And of course, I did want the PS3 for the main reason that I wanted a really good console to play games on, because at that time I was thinking it would be really nice to actually own one. And I didn't have too many games in mind. But the one game that I was thinking of, if I did want to play games on the PS3, because there was of course the option for me to do ad hoc party on the PS3. So for the early part of my PS3 usage, it was very much an ad hoc party machine for Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. And the funny thing is that... Oh, hold on, stop that. But yeah, so I was aware of Demon's Souls' existence, so that was the one game that was really in my mind for something that I would want immediately on the PS3. And by the time I had the PS3, I was slowly getting interested in first-person shooter games as well. I got Modern Warfare 2 around the time it came out, so I played that on the PS3 as well. But by the time the Slim had come out, and by the time I owned a PS3, the US version of the game was on the horizon, but I didn't know that. My knowledge of what was going on with Demon's Souls was the same as what it was when I had first looked at it earlier on in the year, at which time Atlas, to my knowledge, did not confirm or even discuss the existence of a English translated US version. Of course, the Chinese version was translated in English. I don't know about the Korean version, but you would think so. But if it wasn't, then I can tell you, at the very least, the Chinese version was, because I ended up getting the Chinese version. But it was advertised to me on eBay, and I did buy the game on eBay at the time, and I didn't really buy games from game stores so much then, and I still don't all the time now. I prefer to do that for the simple reason that I hate waiting for games to arrive to me, or just anything really that I buy online. I would always prefer to buy it in person, just so that I can have it immediately instead of having to wait for shipping. Not that Americans would understand that. They get things shipped to them just like that. Boom, done. But I live in Australia, which is like a fucking isolated island in the middle of nowhere. So if I'm getting something that's not from Australia, sometimes it can take a while, you know, at least a week and a half sometimes, if not more. So the point is that I'd rather have it immediately rather than later. But I got my GameCube originally on eBay, so from that moment, which was in 2006 when I got the GameCube, I was sort of this online shopping maniac who would only buy things online rather than go into game stores. So that's what I was doing with Demon's Souls as well. I looked for the game Demon's Souls on PS3, and I came across one that was advertised to be the English version, or it must have said English translated or something like that. It indicated to me that it was in English rather than in some other language that I didn't understand, and so I thought, oh, the European version's probably come out now, or something like that, you know. I had the assumption at that time that it was the European version, and this was probably due to the fact, and I will show you the version that I bought, which is this one here. Now, as you can see, in the corner it says English plus Chinese version. Actually, you can't see that. I'll show you now. I don't know if you can even see that. But the point is, it says English plus Chinese version. Now, it's funny because I just never really understood, when I actually received the game, how I would play the Chinese version. In fact, the only way that it's Chinese is in the text on the back and in the game manual, which is in Chinese, which I will show you briefly. God, all the stuff is falling out now. But, random page, it's in Chinese. You can't really see that. But the point is that what I believe to be the European version was in fact not the European version, but I went ahead and played it, and I had a few problems while playing it. Mainly because the game was absolutely crushingly difficult, especially for someone like me, who was not that used to that style of game, even. You have to understand that I was coming from Nintendo games, and it was... What is that fucking sound? Is that my PS3? My PS3 is making a phenomenally interesting noise right now. It sounds like a fucking bell is ringing. Oh, it's touching one of my beer glasses. One moment, hold on. You can probably hear that. It actually sounds like a fucking oven bell going off. One moment. I have to be honest with you. I nearly shat. Because that sound, I thought that it was something inside the PlayStation 3 rattling, making almost a sound that you would hear from a oven bell going off. It was like freaking me out. But I have my water goblet and my La Trappe beer glass, and somehow they had slowly moved together and they were vibrating against each other, creating that glass vibration sound. I was really freaked out there for a minute. And yes, I do have glasses just all over my room, because I have so many of them, I can't fit them in the cupboard. But anyway, so, what was I saying before I got interrupted? Yeah, so one of the reasons why I got the PS3 was because I came from Nintendo, so therefore I came from Japanese games. And I had an understanding, even at that time, that if a Japanese game came out, it was much more likely to come out on the PS3 than on the Xbox 360. So I decided very early on that I wasn't going to regret the decision of buying an Xbox 360 so deeply that I would miss out on all of these, well, as I missed out on all of these Japanese games. But after that bullshit over there, I've sort of lost my train of thought, if you can imagine. But anyway. Still 2 views here. I've been streaming for 25 minutes. I hope that there are people out there who are interested in watching Demon Souls. But of course, I am very happy for people to just watch it in the future sometime. So that is one thing that I would like. And of course, the longer that I do stream for, the higher the chances are that more people are going to get on board. So that is something that I would like. But to continue with the story, as I fight the Vanguard here, I obviously came to the realization that I was playing some sort of Chinese version of the game, not a European version of the game. But when I was playing Demon Souls rather early on, I was really suffering because, as I said before, I came from Nintendo games that were a little bit different to Demon Souls, if you can imagine. I wasn't a big, I guess, what had become at that time to be typical RPG. I wasn't a typical player of those sorts of RPGs. So I was really having a big problem just on that front alone. And of course there is a lot more to Demon Souls than just that. There is an entire unique system of the game trying to fuck you over. So yeah, it's important for me to mention that I had a very big problem with Demon Souls at that time. I wasn't like angry with the game, but I was not having a fun time. It was really miserable. And so I bashed my head against the game for a long time, for a few weeks I think, pretty much almost only playing that game during that time. And yeah, it wasn't good. And eventually I just kind of stopped. And I didn't actually resume my play of Demon Souls. I didn't have the intention to return to it until sometime in... Oh, did I die? Yes? Okay, I died. It's the Vanguard, what do you do? It's easier to fight the Vanguard when you have more starting defense, but I don't have more starting defense, so yeah, that sucks. But I didn't resume my play of Demon Souls until the next year. And keeping in mind that I did get Demon Souls sort of later on in the year 2009, and I did have other games that were taking my interest as well. Not even just games on the PS3, but even outside of that, I think I sort of stopped with Freedom Unite as well. It's really funny. I picked up both Freedom Unite and Demon Souls in 2009, got beaten up by both of the games, and then didn't really resume them again until 2010, when I was looking for variation in my gaming from Monster Hunter 3 Tri, which I had on the Wii that year. And it's so funny because the two games, now this is one thing that I'm going to mention which is really relevant. It is currently the year 2019. It has been 10 years since 3 very important things happened. 1, me starting to make videos. 2, me getting involved in the Monster Hunter series. And 3, me starting with the Souls series, or at the very least Demon Souls. Now, these 3 things remain really big parts of my online life to this day. So 2009 is a really big year for me. And I'm really happy that I'm able to bring you guys Demon Souls, the game that I started back then, in a live stream format, using the, I guess, recording know-how that I've developed over the period of the last 10 years. So it's really great that I'm able to do that. And this is what it's all about. I think that being able to tie it all together after 10 years is just really nice, so I thought that I'd just mention that. I'm a bit of a sentimental person, but that's a really special thing for me. Now, In 2010, when I did a little bit more research on Demon's Souls, I went and bought this, which is the European version of the game. And I believe that you can see here, well, it's not in the best of condition. There's a little bit of water damage on the back here. I don't know if you can really see that. If I angle it, you can maybe see on the light that there's some water damage, moisture damage, and all of that business. That is the case with a few of my games that I bought around that time. Fortunately, the Asian version of the game didn't receive such damage because I had it in a box under my bed, whereas the games that I was playing more frequently were in a cabinet that got a lot of moisture in it, and was also being rained on through a window and all sorts of bullshit like that. So yeah, water damage was a bit of a theme of my games back then. But aside from that, I sort of had a reinvigorated interest in Demon's Souls. You have to understand that there is something strangely addicting about getting the shit beaten out of you by a game. And when you make little bits of progress, slowly but surely, you start to really want more. And that was very much the case for me when I returned to Demon's Souls, because when I did return to it, I didn't leave it again. At least not until Dark Souls came out the following year. And I didn't get that until like later on that year, because I think it came out it might have been September of 2011. That's the date that sticks out to me, September 2011, which is around the time that I got Dark Souls. It took me about a month or two to get Dark Souls, because I was having so much fun with Demon's Souls at the time. But yeah, seriously. Oh, God bless me. God bless you too. Oh, hello. This is the best video game ever made. Do you have the small brown 6x6 strat guide that came with the EU and JP version? Little Bible thing? I don't have the... Okay, so the Japanese version, this sort of goes along with the story that I'm telling here. I didn't get the Japanese version until last year. I don't know if the original Japanese version came with that, but I can tell you the European version, I didn't get that, unfortunately, with the European version, because I also got the European version on eBay. So if it was intended to come with the European version, then maybe not. But if what you're describing to me is like the special version of the game, I do have one version of that, which I'll show you in a moment. It's called the Black Phantom Edition. And I believe that's the European version, rather than the American version. So the regular European game, I don't believe, came with that particular strategy guide, but my knowledge of it is that the special versions did, and it was... The information there was actually compiled through the Wikidot people. The people who are actually doing the Demon's Souls wiki helped to compile that information, which is really insane to me. And it's for that reason, well, the main reason was because that was the only wiki at the time, but that's one of the main reasons also that I continue to use the wiki.wiki for not only Demon's Souls, but also the other games as well in the Souls series. I just have a lot of respect for those people, because they were recognized by the actual publishers as people who were, I guess, accumulating all of this information to the extent that they actually put it in the guidebooks, which is just crazy to me. I mean, imagine doing that. But to continue the story, I had the European version of the game, and I played that a little bit more. I think I played it for 3 months, stopped for a little bit, and then I think I returned with a Let's Play that I wanted to record. And I do still have the original recordings of that Let's Play from 2010, which is one of the only things that I still have of my old recordings, which is good. That was only made possible because I uploaded it somewhere else a few years later. But the interesting thing about the European version is that this was the first version that I really well and truly played, but I have to tell you that it just didn't have that many people playing it, at least not compared to the US version as far as I know. The European version died by about 2011. There just weren't that many people playing it, unfortunately. It's really quite sad. But what ended up happening there was that I was wanting to get into PvP around 2011. It might have been mid-2011, possibly late. But at that time, I went ahead and got the Atlas version of the game. Now, you might be able to date it a little bit better if you can get the date that this Red Greatest Hits game came out. I don't know when that was. Of course, it didn't originally come out as a red-cased greatest hits game, needless to say. So this is, of course, far from the original version of the Atlas game. But this is the first time that I acquired the US version of the game, and I played PvP a lot. I remembered going into Skype groups at that time, and it was actually really, really fun. I had a lot of... Well, I got a lot of enjoyment out of that, and more than that, I learnt a lot about the game through that. It's just really amazing to me how you can go through a game by yourself for the longest period of time, and you think you know everything, but then you start playing with other people, and you start to realise that there's so much more that you just didn't really know about. But without going into too much detail about that, I will mention that the second last version of the game that I got, which I think I got in... Well, when did I get it? It must have been around late 2011 or 2012. I didn't get it to play it. I don't think. I got it because I was just obsessed. But this is the Black Phantom edition here. It's pretty much the collector's edition of the game for the European version. But as you can see, and this is important, it has the Australian rating on it. So what I'm telling you is that I actually got it in store. This was the first Demon's Souls game that I actually got in store, and I can show you in here that there are some important items in here, namely, which is what Jin Furai, is that your name? Or Yin Furai, I would guess Jin Furai, was referring to, which is the strategy book. And, well, it's called the Strategy Guide, and it is pretty lengthy. There is a lot going on in here. I'll show you one page, for instance. This might be a nice page to show. You've got the, whatever her name is, Maiden in Black there. You can see that there are a lot of illustrations here, and it's really nice. When he refers to it as a Bible thing, I wouldn't say that this is really a Bible. I mean, it's a strange... Maybe if you moved it like this, it would be like a Bible, but I'm assuming that this is what he's referring to. If it's not directly what he was referring to, then I would say that this would contain more or less the same information that he's talking about. But anyway, it has a really, really detailed list of information here, and it's so nice. I mean, for most people, they would prefer to look online for this information because it is technically easier to find online rather than in a book, but it's just so nice to have the physical thing in front of you. And it was through my obsession with Demon's Souls that I actually bought this. As well as that, there is a art book and soundtrack. So this, you can see that in the back here you've got the soundtrack CD, and then there's also lots of art. I'll find a good page to show you guys. I'm not going to run through the entire thing. It's not a fucking unboxing video, it's a live stream, but anyway, hold on. Let me find it. You know what, let's just show you King Allant. So here he is here, trying to frame that nicely. And that is King Allant in the art book. And then of course the game itself, which, as you would expect, has a special red appearance to it. It's a very nice little collector's item here. I'm sure that one day it will be very expensive, but it probably already is expensive. I just haven't checked the price recently. I probably should have done that before I recorded this, because maybe that would be some information that you guys would be interested in hearing. But I can tell you that it was reasonably expensive at the time. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but it wasn't a price that I was unwilling to pay, given the amount of, I guess, what am I thinking of? The amount of love that I had for Demon's Souls at the time. It's just incredible how much I had a thing for that game, and still have a thing for that game. Or this game, I should be saying, because it is in front of me right now. Not that I want to jinx myself, but I haven't had any video issues yet, so... Once again, I've probably just ruined it now. But, last year, which was the last year in which... A small brown guide is what you're talking about. No, I don't have that guide, unfortunately. I don't believe that I even knew that it existed. Of course, I do have the one that comes with the actual games themselves. For the sake of showing you, I can show you the Japanese version that I'm about to show you. Last year, I did get the Japanese version of the game for my own interests, really. I wanted to play it. It was around the time that I was deciding that I wanted to do a live stream series for this game, and I thought, well, it would be really cool to actually play the Japanese version, which I have in front of me right now on the screen. And, yeah, Japanese version, you can see the text on the back. I don't know if you can... Yeah, you can tell that that's Japanese, basically. And, actually, I don't really want to show you this guide, because this is in a bit... It's in shit condition. You can see that, anyway, it's garbage. But, this here is more or less the Japanese strategy guide that came with the game. And, I don't know if that's what you're referring to. You're saying a brown guide. I mean, this is brown inside. Brown inside. Not brown on the outside. 6x6. I'm retarded and don't know if that's 6x6. So, anyway. That's it for the story, more or less. There are a lot of other things that I could discuss, like the rest of my Souls career. But, because of course that goes far beyond Demon Souls. But I don't really want to move too far away from the game that I'm playing right now, because I think it's worth mentioning that I am doing a live stream here for Demon Souls, and while all of that was Demon Souls related, I do want to play the game as well. I don't really want to stop doing that so much. I was able to tell most of the story while going through the tutorial, fortunately, but I was standing still for a while there, so it's kind of shit, but... Now, if you can excuse me for one moment, I'm going to go ahead and pour myself some water, because I actually have a bit of a parched throat. I've been talking for 41 minutes straight, but the funny thing is, and I'm just going to mention this before I get a drink of water, for those of you who think that I'm going to sit here and talk without stopping for however long I stream here, which will probably be about 2 hours, I would say. I don't really want to do more than 2 hours, because if you're going to watch it back, I don't want to have this fucking 6-hour long thing and people are going to go, oh, I'm not going to watch that, it's too long. I don't really want you guys to have that sort of thing going on, so I'm going to try and limit it to 2 hours, and it's easy for me to do that as well. And, what was I going to say? What I was going to say was that I do intend to speak without stopping for the entirety of that time, for the sake of your entertainment, and because that's how I record videos, that's just how I do it, because I come from a Let's Play background, not from a background. So, you know, fucking sitting there not talking, like, engage with an audience for Christ's sake. But that's just how I feel. It's this weird streaming, how do you call it, culture that has somehow arisen out of the ashes of whatever. But the point is, that's not how I'm going to be recording. And I have, when I was doing those really, really long recordings for my Let's Play of Demon Souls back in 2016, I was talking without stopping for 3 hours, sometimes more, because what I would end up doing was, like, I'd do multiple long recordings in a day. This is how I ended up getting a 12-month long backlog of stuff that I needed to edit for Demon Souls at that time, because I would do multiple long recordings in a day. So I might do a 3-hour long recording, and then I'll do another 4-hour long recording the same day, like after a break of maybe an hour to get something to eat. So I was effectively streaming at that time, but not actually streaming. I was just recording it and then editing through it. Now, this is the awful freaking thing about that, having to edit through it, and I talked about it in the previous video, and I'm not going to talk about it at length now for that reason, but goddamn, it was just absolutely awful to actually sit there and edit through all of that. Imagine spending the time actually recording it, and you have to edit it. It's just absolutely awful. I'm not doing it anymore. I'll be with you guys in just a moment. Shit. What did I drop? Keyboard. It's live, guys, really. But thanks for talking to me, Jin Furai. You actually, I guess, influenced the little story that I was telling there. And that's nice. I like interacting with people. I don't know if you're a subscriber of mine or not, but if you aren't, then maybe you could consider doing that. Just, no, I really don't care whether you subscribe or not. I'm actually having to drink out of this because my water goblet is a bit dirty. It's like, ooh, so yeah. The reason why it's been sitting there collecting dust for the last few days, and it gets a bit dusty in my room, so I'm thinking, fuck that, I'm gonna drink out of this one, which isn't so dusty. Actually, it's not dusty at all, otherwise I wouldn't have been drinking out of it. This is the glass that was against my water goblet, creating the kitchen bell noise, which actually made me shit. I was like, what is that? My PS3 shouldn't be making that noise. It's never made that noise. It's not like I've sold my PS3 since I bought it in 2009. I mean, it's held up really well. I would like to say that I've been really lucky with my consoles. Like, none of them have had a problem, including my Xbox 360, which I got in late 2011, yeah. It was, you know, it's still holding up pretty well. You know, I never got red ring or any of that business. But, anyway, what was I going to say? I think I was discussing something before I had to go and get some water. I guess I wrapped up that subject. Anyway, I'm probably going to pour myself some more of this Manx Spirit. Of course, it comes from the Isle of Man, which is what this is from. These are the 3 legs of man, the Manx Triskelion. And that's where my family's from, so yeah, fun. But this is not a whiskey that you see every day, and I would recommend that you try it at the very least. If you haven't tried it and you're into spirits in general, I'd recommend that you try it. It tastes like whiskey. Don't expect something that doesn't taste like whiskey. I can assure you that it does. God. Sorry that I'm getting a bit gassy. Normally I'd cut that out once again, but I'm not in a position to do that, obviously, because it's a live stream. Now, I'm about to go right ahead and... What am I doing? Playing the game, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Also, I lost a viewer, no! It went from 3 to 2. Anyway. So what are we doing for this build? Naturally, we are going to be focusing on magic. But let me just have a look at the stats again here, because I need to try and remember what I've got here. So I have vitality, endurance. There's one that I just don't know about. Is it... You know what, I need to have a look at the list of actual stats, because I just don't know them. This is why I shouldn't have played the Japanese version of the game, you see. I'm gonna go ahead and... Oh, God. Like bashing my elbow on the desk next to me. Gonna have a look at Demon Souls Wiki. Well, I literally just typed Demons Wiki, for fuck's sake. Souls Wiki, there we go. And I'm currently using the wiki that is responsible for the guide that I was on before. And of course you guys aren't seeing this because I'm not intending on showing it to you. But let me just have a look at the list of stats, because, and I believe I'll be able to find that somewhere here. Character stats, here we go. It's under your character. Here we go. So we have... so intelligence is actually the second from the top. That's really good. That helps a lot. So I have... You see, this is my stupidity. Yeah, okay. So as far as that, I am cool now. Intelligence is second from the top. And I should have been able to work that out anyway, because it's 15. Obviously, I'm an idiot. Anyway. So... what I'm going to do, and I have, what's this? This is water resistance. I forgot what it's actually called. It's something like water veil or something like that, or I just wish I could remember the name of it. But it basically allows me to be more resistant to fire attacks by surrounding me with water, and I can probably demonstrate that for you now. It's like a water mist. It's pretty good. And it's a really nice effect as well. I have to say that it looks really cool. We're not really going to need that until Area 2, or World 2 I should say. But yeah. This is Flame Toss. This is pretty obvious. as to what that's going to do. But yeah, I just need to think of what I want to do for the build, and I can probably think about that as I continue into World 1.1, because I think it's about time that you guys get to see what's going on with that. Because from this moment onwards, I would like to, not continue, obviously continue, but I want to actually complete World 1.1 before I finish this live stream. And I think that's going to encompass the rest of it, so anyway. As you guys know, well, if you were watching the start of the stream, I do intend on getting the monk's head collar if I can. And I'm pretty damn positive that there is indeed, the servers are going right now. I wasn't actually aware of that fact until I got the Japanese version of the game, and I still haven't absolutely confirmed that because I'm scared that I'm going to look online and it says no. It's actually going to say that, like I'm going to go onto a website and this voice is going to appear in my headphones and it's going to go no, and that's going to be my answer. But because I'm so afraid of that happening, which is a bit of a drastic event to occur if you think about it. It's not like that hasn't happened before where you go into a website and some stupid shit plays, but generally it's not a voice going no in response to an actual question that you were intending on answering by looking at that website. But anyway, now still 2 people watching, very sad. Of course I can't really allow myself to worry too much about who's watching live. It's just, I mean, I do have a preference for people to actually watch this live for the simple reason that I guess it's nice to be able to watch it live, but I do also want to treat this video series as something that you can watch and enjoy after it's been recorded. So I'm not really acting as if it's the be-all and end-all if you haven't seen it live. Or watching it live is the be-all and end-all. It's, you know, if you can't watch it live, it's okay. But it is better if you do watch it live. But it's all about amassing a viewer base, I suppose. And I do understand that YouTube is not necessarily the best place to go for live streaming. It's not like the creme de la creme of live streaming. I understand that it's not. But at the same time, it's something that is going to, I guess, directly involve my YouTube channel, which is what I want. It also has auto-archiving to that channel. So that's what it's all about. All of my recordings are to my YouTube channel. That's what I find to be important to me. My YouTube channel. And, of course, I am able to mirror to Twitch, but the problem is that that's going to do an even bigger number on my upload rate, or my, internet, to put it more simply. And saying upload rate probably isn't even a good way to describe that. But the point is that I just don't think my internet is good enough to mirror to Twitch as well, so... Otherwise I would be doing that, of course, because there's nothing wrong with getting more people viewing. I mean, I'm pretty down for that. But, anyway. I'm just continuing through the basic level of the game here. For those of you who are familiar with the game, this is probably a little bit boring for you guys to see. As you can see, I'm a little bit in the shit. And because you do have less defense as a magic-based person here, of course you are going to be taking more damage from these enemies. But as long as you play more or less sensibly, you shouldn't have any issues. As you can see, I'm playing a little bit better this time, as compared to the previous recording that I did for Demon Souls, for the simple reason that I guess all it takes at this point in my Souls career is a little bit of a refresher, and I'm alright again. So, that's not good. Please get away from me, son. So, as far as the, God, I was talking about something before. Oh yeah, about YouTube. I'm happy to be streaming to YouTube, and I don't really have an intention of streaming to Twitch until I get better internet, and I don't know when that's going to fucking be, so maybe I should not even have that be on the table, because I just don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Of course, we do have the National Broadband Network, which is slowly being rolled out across Australia, and my particular location, where I live, does not have the NBN rolled out yet. So, apparently once that comes, it's going to be better. But there was a lot of hype over it, basically, because everyone was like, oh, Australia's going to finally have good internet and all of this business. And then it came to certain suburbs, and people are going, oh, well, it's not that good. And so I'm a bit worried about that. But especially if Australians are saying, oh, it's not that good, it's probably pretty bad. So, yeah, because, like, to put it simply, we don't have very high standards. So if we're going, it's not that good, then it's not actually really good, but could be better. It's probably just kind of not good. So I'm a bit worried about that. It's mainly upload speed that I'm concerned with. I can handle the download that I have at the moment, but I want to be able to upload to you guys fast. So, yeah. Anyway. Of course these fire bombs are dealing a bit of damage to me right now. That was dangerous. You guys saw that. Maybe it's time for Water Veil or whatever it's called. I don't know if that was good or not. God, I'm getting really attacked right now. You guys are dumb. Uh-oh. I think I've just killed myself. No, I haven't. Thank God for this guy, or this girl I should say, her resistance to falling damage. Because I managed to fall a decent distance there. And for those of you who are not too familiar with Demon Souls, you'll be able to see there that when you do fall, it's very slow. You just slowly glide downwards. It's actually really frightening because you're slowly gliding to your death sort of thing. It's really creepy. But, yeah. I don't know how much that water spell is really helping me there. It seemed like I was still taking a lot of damage from those flaming swords, but I suppose if I was taking a lot of damage with it, in effect, then it would have been even worse if I didn't, so that's about all I can say about that. Now, once again I was talking about something and now I can't really think. Oh yeah, I was talking about the internet stuff, but I can probably move on from that subject now. But, I do very much like Boletarian Palace as a world location, not just this World 1-1, but all of it really, because it's got that real atmospheric feeling to it, with the crows in the distance and the silence of it, and I love the setting as well, just like you're walking around the castle walls and all this business. It's quite nice. I can go and get a bastard sword if I want, I may as well. Getting gassy again, to excuse me. I'm probably going to need more water again. I'm telling you, it's doing a number on my throat right now. I guess it's been a while since I've actually recorded a lot. So, anyway. Getting attacked by this guy from the distance, of course. Which is a little bit annoying. Oh, what I really should is have OBS up, because I still have the fucking wiki up, which is ridiculous. But anyway, oh, I'm getting attacked again. Not quite what I wanted. But yeah, this is going to be a really, really long running series, because through playing Demon Souls before, in my Let's Plays, I came to the realization that no matter how many times I record the game, I can't stop playing it, or how many times I play the game, I can't stop playing it. It's just something about it, I just love it. I love replaying it over and over and over again, it's so good. In this direction there is a Red Eye Knight, who I'm not going to fuck with right now. I might be able to do a little bit of damage to him with the Flame Toss, but I'm not going to try my luck. The last thing I want is to be set back to the beginning, and then have to run all the way back here. I'm just not in the mood for that shit. I've been streaming for almost an hour, so we've got a little bit more than an hour left for this video, basically. Because once again, I'm not going to go beyond 2 hours. That's not really something that I want to do. Let's go ahead and get the Cling Ring, shall we? It's going to be useful for the rest of this level regardless. Now, I'm going to be going for a light build, of course. Most magic builds are rather light. Do not walk in there, you will get hit by that fire. And let the entire fire animation to finish, because, oh god. There's a fair chance that that fire animation is still going to deal damage to you. At the moment, well, until the moment where that fire is just completely gone, so just don't go anywhere near it until that's finished, basically is what I'm trying to tell you. But yeah, the magic build that I'm planning is going to be fast moving, to start with because that's my preference, and second of all, it just feels natural for a magic build to be a fast moving build, you know. I think you guys would agree with me on that. Of course, the Jade Hair Ornament and the Wizard set, I believe, has just fallen. Is that correct? I think I'm currently using the Wizard set, not that I can fucking see it, but, uh-oh, that's alright. Didn't fall too far there. But it feels weird using the PlayStation 3 controller. I have this red PlayStation 3 controller that I got 4 years ago because my original PlayStation 3 controller I replaced for a... Oh. I'm an idiot. I was just not even paying attention clearly. That's alright. I'm slowly but surely, how do I say, getting used to the game. That's my stupidity clearly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the area, if you don't mind. The reason why you wouldn't do that to start with is because you just won't collect souls if you run through the entirety of the game. Unless you're doing a specific speedrun that is like really, I guess, sensibly organized, it's really not going to work for you to do a fast running build. Well, as in running through everything, not like a build where you fast run, but anyway. I've gone and picked up that set there, which I believe is the wizard set. I don't know what I have equipped right now. I don't know if it's the wizard set or what, but anyway. Wouldn't mind the thief's ring soon, by the way, because of course that does make the enemies more docile. Get away from me, sir. See, the enemies aren't doing too much damage to me, but I'm still having a few problems with them. I might heal up in a moment. These guys are going to fuck with me a little bit, you know. Especially with it. You know, if I could actually get on target, that would be phenomenal. Yeah, I'm not impressed about dying there. But of course, one thing to mention with these... oh god, not good. That was really fucking dodgy if you didn't notice. But you know, it's all about whether or not you actually die. It doesn't matter if you're really, really close to death, it's the moment where you die where it's important. And according to those same strict definitions, if you actually die, it doesn't matter if you were really close to not dying. If you're dead, too bad. It's quite relentless in that. People are still pursuing me, I think. Alright, let's go and deal with them, shall we? Just trying to play nice and sensibly here. Come on, guys. Of course, I do have magic here, I do realise this, but I'm too lazy to use it. I mean, I'm doing a magic build and I'm too lazy to use my magic. I mean, there you go. But one thing that I do prefer, and some people don't like magic builds because you can just sort of stand back and cast your magic, no problem. But that's not even how I enjoy playing. So, therefore, when I use a magic build, magic is like a side thing that I can do when I feel like it. But for the most part, I'm using my weapon because that's how I enjoy to play. That's why I play the Soul series, because I love the weapon mechanics. I love the shield and sword and all of that business. I just love how that gameplay plays out. It's really nice. I actually do need some more water, so I'm going to go ahead and get that soon. But for now... Oh, both of them died there, that's good. For now I'm going to go ahead and get the cling ring, and then once I do a loop to the beginning, I will go and get some water. Because basically I don't know if any of these enemies are going to wander up here and come and kill me while I'm getting water, so I'm not going to, how do I say, take any chances. Let's go ahead and pick up this soul. I've probably gone and pissed off a few people now. Let's bring them up here. Actually, you know what? Let's actually make use of our magic, finally. As you can see, the magic is very strong. Particularly in this area. Of course, it will become less and less strong as time goes on, but just to start with here, it's pretty damn good. And the amount of magic consumption is really low as well, so... yeah. Now, had I done that in the first place, I wouldn't have died, but what do you do? Not everything goes your way, I think you'll find. But anyway. Once again, I hope the live stream is going well. Look at this handsome boy. Hello, Ethan. How are you? I'm very happy to see you here. Holy shit. I'm so happy to see you here. Welcome. Seriously. Fuck. You know, I've been waiting for people to chat to me, and you can see that this guy's been chatting to me. He's pretty cool. Or maybe you can't see the previous chat history from before you joined. If you can't, then there has been a guy who's been chatting to me, but fuck, you know. The reason why I'm doing this live stream right now is mainly to have a nice series that can be viewed after the fact, and I was previously doing a Let's Play series for Demon Souls, but the interesting thing was that having such a huge backlog of recordings to edit was really, really weighing on me. So here I am doing a live stream so that I don't have to do any of that editing bullshit. And so, long story short, it doesn't actually make a difference to me if no one's watching, or so I say, when I'm actually recording live, but at the same time I do prefer it when people are here to watch it, so I'm really glad that you're here. Your stream looks awesome, thank you. It's just because I could have very easily, before this point, recorded without a camera or recorded without a green screen, but I thought that if I was going to actually do it, it needs to be done the right way. That's what I want to have for this little video series that I'm doing here. I want it to be right from the start. I don't want people to be turned off from the old stuff by the fact that it doesn't look as good as the new stuff. This is in the context of the future, and that's what I'm always thinking about. I'm thinking about the future. How does it look like to the people of the future? And I would like to think that it looks pretty good now, and will look good in the future. So that's what it's about. I also have the fact that I have other streamers that I've seen to draw on, and one person that I did watch, his name was Zarek Zaharkaron. I used to watch him a lot, and between 2015 and mid-2016, he had a really good look going with his live stream. But then he started to add this border around the live stream, and he also had his image became even smaller, and I just realized that looks like garbage. And so I'm not going to do that. This is what I feel looks the best. Just a simple show the game on the screen and have me on the screen as well, but not too small. You can see me clearly. And that's fine. You don't need anything more than that. You don't need unnecessary clutter on the screen. You don't need all of this information like, this is my Twitch, this is my YouTube. Fuck that. You can look at it in the description. I don't even have it in the description right now, but God, if you're too lazy to look at the description, then for God's sake, just, I don't know, suffer at the hands of your own stupidity. Really, there's not much more I can say than that. Now, I have the Thief's Ring equipped here, of course, which is necessary because I did die before, apparently, which is not really good. But, anyway. We did just talk to Scirvir of Boletaria, and of course, once we kill all of these Draglings in the pit here, he will come down and reward us with a brass telescope. Not that you'll be able to confirm that for yourself, you'll be able to see that it's something like a telescope, but it's going to be all in Japanese, so, yeah, anyway. So, regardless. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this item here. I think it's grass. No, it's a scimitar. Well, let's see if that's worth using. I don't know if I'm able to use it right now. Here's the scimitar. I am able to use it, and it is doing more damage, so I'm going to go ahead and equip that. It's going to be necessary for this guy, as I think you'll find. I'm going to try and mash him to death. Oh, we do have a Scirvir helping us out. Who would have thought? Okay, awesome. So we're currently at 66 minutes in. Going to be recording for a little bit less than an hour from this point forwards. In that time I will have finished World 1-1, fortunately, which is good. And yeah, because I think that it's best for things to be short rather than long. The one benefit to having a long live stream, is, of course, is that you have a greater chance to amass a larger viewer base for your live stream, because, you know, as time goes on, you know, more people might be coming and all of this, and then it can just slowly build up. But once again, this is about the future, and I think it's better for people to watch a live stream that has occurred when it's shorter, because, you know, once again, and I can definitely relate to this thought, if it's a super long live stream, you might not actually want to go and watch it. You might just think, oh, fuck it, that's too long. But anyway, 2 hours is good for me anyway, because I need to go to work soon anyway, so within an 1:30, it's currently 12:34. I actually want to leave for work before then, but whatever, I'm fine. I'm doing a live stream, this is important. So, how's that going to work? I guess maybe I'll just record until I finish World 1-1, because I don't think it's going to take me another hour to finish this level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rush forward to finish this level, and then I'll end the live stream. It'll probably be another 20 minutes or something like that, because keep in mind that I do need to kill the boss as well. So that's something that I'm going to be doing, obviously. Oh, I love that attack. It's like this crazy little attack where you move back. It's where you tap forwards on the movement analog stick, the one on the left side, and then attack with R1 as well. You do this little, like, fade slash almost. It's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm using the scimitar right now because it's doing a little bit more damage. One thing with the scimitar is that, as you were able to see, it doesn't have that that lunge forward attack. It just has this, which is not really good. The good thing about the lunge forward attack is that you can kind of stay out of the way of the enemies, yet also, can you not do that, please? You can stay out of the way of the enemies and then go in for the attack and get back out of there, which is generally the safer way to go. And if it seems like I'm being punished for the use of this scimitar, then I'll probably change to the whatever I was using before. I didn't even see what I was using. It might have just been a short sword. I think that's what it was. It's all in Japanese. I don't read Japanese. We've been over this before. Anyway, there we got him. God, did you hear my voice right there? It sounded like I was this dying old man. Ooh, get away from that. He should die from the fall. Goodbye. Anyway, so if he dropped anything, I'm not picking it up. Fuck that. Anyway. I hope the stream looks alright. You said it looks awesome, Ethan. From my perspective, it looks as if my my face is getting all pixelated and then it's going alright again and then it's pixelated. But once again, that might not be on your end. If that's the case on my end, but not on your end, then that's okay. I'm getting beaten up by these boulders. Please get out of the way. Holy shit. If I would have died to those boulders, I probably would have cried right here and now on stream. Fact. No, I actually wouldn't have done that, but it's always good to make jokes. Jokes are funny, haha. But anyway, we're getting towards the end of this level, and of course we do have the two dragons over there. You can only see one from this angle. This is the guy who whips his tail around, doesn't really give a shit, and kills you in the process. He is protecting the Ring of Great Strength. I don't need it right now, but I might get it? Ha 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 ha. Should I do that? That's a bit of a risk. But, anyway, you know what? I'm going to go fire magic with these guys. I'm not in the mood. Like, I'm not in the mood for these guys at all. So, you can just die. Thanks. Anyway. So, I think what we're going to do is risk it. Let's just risk it. I don't give a shit anymore. Basically, you have a few things over here. You have souls, you have a purple flame shield, and the Ring of Great Strength. The purple flame shield is not something that I'm going to be using for this build for the simple reason that it's a heavier item, and it's something that you would use in conjunction with a strength build or a quality build. At the very least, a build that you're planning to be a bit heavier. This, as I mentioned just before, is going to be a rather fast-moving build, so I'm not going to make use of the heavy shield, purple flame shields, so yeah. I do have the Thief's Ring, and I do believe that makes a difference when it comes to going up against these dragons. Is this more or less defense? Hold on, what's fire defense? I don't know. It's all in Japanese, I can't read it. Well, look, I think it might be worthwhile. I don't know what that bottom one is. You can see that one of these stats has gone down, which is signified by the red, but let's just do it. Let's just do the full... Oh, I don't have anything. It's called the Ragged set. I remembered because it looks ragged. Who would have thought? But anyway, this is... you know what? We'll just do it. I think it's giving me more fire defense. Let's just go with it. I look, indeed, a bit more ragged, but that might help? I don't know. Apparently looking ragged means that you're more resistant to fire. Who would have thought? I don't really need any of this shit. All I need is the Ring of Great... Ooh, get away from that! Yeah, that's a death. Okay. Am I going to try that again? No. Because I do plan on going to work soon. I like to leave a little bit more time so that I can relax in a nice pub before I work, so I want to leave relatively soon. Within the next 20 minutes, roughly. That will be good. But I'm not going to stress myself to get to where I want to be really, really fast. Like, I'm just going to go at a normal pace and just finish when the level is over. That's how I'm going to work it. Anyway. Oh, I didn't... Hold on. Oh, yes. The only time that I would have that open is if I've gone and opened that as well. Fair enough. Might be a little bit dangerous to head up through here, but it'll be faster. Woohoo. Woohoo! I'm a crazy, slinking little bastard. Don't you worry about that. Alright. So this should be alright. I should be safe. Whoa. Hallelujah. Don't know why I'm saying hallelujah. If you do want to know why, I don't have the answer for you. Anyway. God. Alright. So at this point... yeah, we should be okay. It's not too difficult to run through World 1-1. I mean, why would it be? Especially with the Thief's Ring, it's going to be even easier, so... yeah. Head down through here. Ostrava is... I was about to say he's attacking no one, but he's actually attacking that guy, which is fair enough. I'm not going to begrudge him that. How dare you do that? Yeah, you're coming after me. It's just that I remembered that there is some... ore this way? Well, I say ore, but... get out of there, please! I sound a little bit stressed out. Anyway, so... come on. I'm stuck in a restaurant. I'll chat more soon. That's fine, bro. I don't mind. That's, of course, Ethan, because you guys can't see the chat. Or maybe you can see the chat, because to my knowledge, there is a chat replay. For those who might be interested in knowing, Ethan is a friend of mine who I play Monster Hunter with from time to time. And he's been watching my videos for a while, and he quite enjoys them, so I enjoy the fact that he enjoys them, if that makes sense. Of course it makes sense. Anyway. Yeah, you can be stuck in a restaurant. That doesn't bother me. If you're watching, then that's great. Now, can you stop? Stupid guy. So there's some ore here. I call it ore. No, it's a salt. I should be calling them stones rather than ore. Calling it ore is a Monster Hunter thing, I guess, yeah. Ore. But, I mean, you should understand that I'm referring to stones or, you know, earthly mineable things when I say that. That's more or less what this stuff is. It's hardstone and sharpstone, which is going to be useful in upgrading whatever weapon I want to upgrade. And I don't really know what I want to upgrade yet. I'll leave that for the next video, I suppose. For now, I just need to get through this area. Been recording for about an hour and 10 minutes. No, an hour and 15 minutes, sorry. Another mail breaker. I believe that's my second anyway. Let's have a look. No. Oh, forget my second, it's my third. Anyway. So for those of you who are not too used to Demon Souls, excuse me, just a bit gassy as per usual, don't mind me. And so yeah, for those of you who are not really used to Demon Souls and are having to look at all this Japanese text, I do apologise. It's just something a little bit different for me. And once again, if the servers are up for the Japanese version, then fuck, I mean, why would I not take advantage of that for a live stream? I mean, seriously. But anyway, going to run through the rest of this shit. I had to attack those barriers that were in my way because you can't roll through that. They're a bit too solid for that business, so I had to go and attack it. Stop it, please. Do I have to hit these boulders again? I believe so. Let's do that. You just need to stay away from them, and you'll be alright for the most part. No, that's not what I wanted to... Not a firebomb. I, for a brief moment, thought that was going to explode in my face and kill me. I'm very, very glad that that scenario did not eventuate. That would have been really, really unpleasant. Mainly because I would have had to do this crap again, which is not what I want. I said that I was going to get more water. I've decided against it. I've decided that... suffering is more enjoyable than not suffering, which is an interesting thought. Anyway, no, it has more to do with the fact that I'm too fucking lazy. So, let's go ahead and do a full ring around World 1-1 by crossing this bridge. Just going to bring the dragon over here. Yeah, here he comes. Stupid dragon. Just going to stand here. He's coming now, that's him. He's going to fly to the end of the bridge and then kill all of these guys. I'm really not doing much damage here. I'm not happy with that. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you're going to get hit. Are you coming or not, you stupid thing? Fuck this dragon. Seriously. Okay, so I have to come again. Then you'll come again. Just come on, man. Over here. Come on. I need you to kill all these guys. I don't have the patience. Please? Thank you. See, now... What are you doing? Okay, now he's coming. I'm just going to stand here on this fucking bridge until he comes, seriously. Oh, I just didn't really mean to use that. Here we go. Now he's ready to do something. Stupid bastard. So as long as you stand here, you'll be alright. And from the moment that he starts breathing fire on this bridge, I believe he just continues to do that. Because it is assumed... Fuck. I lost a bit of time there. If I get hit by this dragon, holy fuck. I'm going to turn into a pilot. A Chinese pilot. Alright, so that's a reference that is old. Anyway, so don't worry about me. So, at this point, we can maybe bring these guys over here. I'll use my fire to kill you now. I don't care about that. I could use my fire to kill you, yeah, that would be true. But anyway. We won't do that, because that will take a very long time. You can actually kill those dragons, it's just that it takes a long time and usually requires the bow. So, yeah. Not recommended. Not recommended. Unless you just want to say that you've done it. Or you want to record it to prove that it can be done. I can assure you it's been proved to be done for 10 years now. so there's no point in doing that. Look, you just don't get that many souls for it. You have to spend a lot of souls on the arrows. You will get more souls from the dragon itself than what you spent on the arrows, but for the time that you're allocating to killing that dragon with the bow, it's not bloody worth it. And I don't believe that there is a soul that you can actually use to turn into an item or anything like that. Not that I know of anyway. You'd think that I should know of such a thing, but I'm pretty sure that there isn't one, so... Anyway. Please, die, thank you. So we are about to make a full ring back to the entrance, which is what I was showing you before. You saw before that I was trying to walk up to that closed grate entrance thing. That is what we're about to open. So as we come down here, been streaming for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Can you stop? Alright, so once you get behind him, then you'll be able to do some damage. Obviously, if you're attacking the shield, it's not going to do much. That is hardstone. I think how much hardstone was that? Let's have a look. Well, in total I have 5 hardstone, which is pretty good, I would say. What I actually want... Well, I don't really want hardstone or sharpstone specifically, but I would say, if anything, I'd be going for sharpstone, because I'm probably going to be using fast attacking weapons, because it's a fast moving build. But anyway. I'm not really going to be making use of the scimitar during the boss. I'm actually going to be using firebombs. If you want to, you can use a weapon on the boss through turpentine application, but I wouldn't recommend it if you're a magic build that also has firebombs. You know, just use your fucking flame toss, and then also the firebombs that you have acquired. That's my recommendation to you. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so we're about to take on the boss. May as well kill these guys out the front. I did skip the cutscene, I apologise for that. Once again, I don't know if any of you people are actually familiar with Demon Souls or not. I'd like to think that if you're finding this live stream right now, you're either a fan of my videos or you are familiar with Demon Souls and are looking for Demon Souls stuff, but maybe you just don't know stuff about Demon Souls. So here I am skipping all of the cutscenes, but you'll just have to understand that I've seen them so many times, I just don't need to see them anymore, so I apologise for that. So good. Anyway, I think we're ready to go. I will double check what I have equipped here. Yeah, that's going to be good. So we'll start off with firebombs, and then any individuals who are not yet dead, we will indeed use flame toss on. I'd like to bring them all together. That is my preference. God, getting a bit of... As you can see, there is a lot of poor frame rate going on here. This has nothing to do with the recording process. This has everything to do with the PlayStation 3 and the game itself. This is a problem that plagued not only Demon Souls, but also Dark Souls, the first Dark Souls. Yes, it happens in this game too, for those who are not aware. God, didn't get much done with that firebomb. The firebombs are really good, so this should kill a few. Not as many as I wanted. Okay. I just don't know if Flame Toss has the same effectiveness as far as hitting other people. Other people, I say. They're not really people, are they? No. Let's go around... Look, the thing is, with these little people... And here I am calling them people again. Yeah, this is a problem with Flame Toss. It doesn't actually hit multiple. So what I'm going to actually have to do is whip out fucking turpentine. I'm about to get attacked by these guys. But if you don't kill them all, what ends up happening is that they heal the boss. Because the boss himself isn't really doing anything, but he's being protected by these little blobs, we'll call them. Rather than people, we'll call them blobs. As you can see, turpentine is pretty good. Uh-oh. Get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. Just get behind this, because they do launch ranged attacks at you. It's important to mention. So, if I can deal damage to the boss as well while killing them, it's going to be good for me. But pretty much, just for now, the priority is killing these small guys, because if they can heal the boss, obviously killing them is very useful. Anyway. There are a few bosses in this game that can heal themselves through various means. It's kind of interesting. You don't really see that so much in the later games, but it's pretty common in this game. Just stop, please. heal myself here. The boss isn't healing himself yet. He's called the Phalanx, by the way. Not that you can see that, but there we go. He is now dead. Turpentine is very useful. I didn't think that I was going to need that because I was expecting Flame Toss to have more of an outward effectiveness, but it actually doesn't, which is a bit of a shame. But now I know that. This is a, by the way, you know, this is a good opportunity to mention this because I did just get a trophy for the first freaking boss in the game. I have a new profile on the PlayStation 3 here that is specifically for this video series. So I'm going to be getting all of those trophies, and I'm just going to have all of the versions of the game with all of the different characters that I have all on the one profile. I just feel like it's nice because what I'm expecting is to be doing a lot of this shit. So the plan is to have it all on one profile so it's easily accessed and all of this. I don't want it spread across multiple profiles. And normally that would be necessary if I were only playing one version of the game, but I'm actually playing multiple versions. So pretty much I can have as many characters as I want. I mean, how many can I actually do? I can technically do... Actually, no. I think only 16, because the Phantom Edition... I was like counting and like multiplying by 4s based on the number of games that I had here, but I think the Black Phantom Edition was... using the European servers, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, therefore, no, only 16. So I can technically make 16 characters, so that's pretty good, I would say. 16 should be enough, right? Because I am also planning on doing New Game Plus runs, so fuck, I mean, how much am I expecting here? Or how much am I expecting to play? Oh, I'm very hot right now, I have to tell you. Seriously, like, I'm so hot. Well, that's more or less it for this live stream, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As you can see, it's a little bit better than the test recording that I did before. I only did the test recording because I didn't want to wait for natural light, but now that I have natural light coming in, of course, the green screen behind me is working nice, and the lighting here is not quite as orangey as it was before, which I think is better. I don't need to be this little orange thing in the fucking corner. But, anyway. Thank you all for watching. I think that's all I'm going to be doing for this live stream. I'm going to end things here now. Yeah, that seems about right. Is there anything else that I'd like to mention? As far as when I'm going to be streaming next, it could either be tomorrow or the day after. I'll be streaming a lot, I think, just going forward here, because this is a new thing for me, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So the more I can stream, the better, to be honest with you. So I'm probably going to be doing it most days. So if you are interested in catching the live stream around this time, which is evening for US people, I don't know, it's like maybe 9 PM for people in the US, much later for people in Europe, of course. It's probably like midnight for people in Europe, but yeah, that's around the time that I'm going to be streaming. The reason why I do that is, of course, because I'm working during the evenings, and because during the day I get natural light. I'm not going to be recording at night because I don't have that natural light, and you're going to get the bullshit behind me that I was getting in the test recording that I did. So, anyway, that's pretty much how much I'm going to be recording. I'm going to be recording rather frequently, and you also have a general idea now of when I'm recording. So if you do want to catch the live stream live, if you're watching the post recording, then definitely aim to be watching around the time that I just mentioned before, and I should be there. At a later date, when I have more people watching the live streams, I'll figure out something that you can, you know, probably a Discord channel. I'm not going to be using Twitter. I do have a Discord channel that I've actually been working on for the last year or so that has been compiling a lot of information regarding my channel. Once I have enough people to really warrant invites being sent out to that channel, I will do that, and that will include information such as what I'm recording on the channel normally, as well as when I'm expecting to do live streams. The reason why I do that is because the only real social media that I actually have is Discord, if you can even refer to that as social media. So yeah, that's what works best for me, and it's also a really good place just for lots of information about my channel to be present. So anyway, I thank you all for watching, and that's pretty much it for my live stream. I'll be streaming likely tomorrow, maybe the day after, but for now, in the next video we will be working out in more tangible terms what we're going to be doing in this build, and I'm going to probably continue with World 1-2, or perhaps World 1, or the first level section of one of these other worlds. So, that is the plan for the next live stream. This has been the very first live stream of a very long running series. I thank you all for watching, and I will catch you guys when I am next doing a live stream. I'll catch you later.